Welcome back to the channel. Car's covered in plastic. Things are happening, yeah, as I mentioned before in one of my previous videos, is that we've got a show coming up soon. Well, Saturday. It's Thursday today, so we're leaving tomorrow for Yakushi. We're trying to get the GTO up and a little bit more presentable. So what I have done is I am attempting to try and repair the damage that I did to the rear bumper. One thing led to another, and we've been busy. I'm scared to show you, to be honest, because this is not something I normally do. This is the first time I've done something where I've actually done some work on the car, like properly worked on the car completely on my own. Because I understand that I get visitors quite a lot that come and help, and I'm very, very grateful for that. So I'm a bit worried to show you this because I'm not using the right filler. I'm not using the right, I don't know what you call it. It's the thing that you spread the filler with. But anything's better than paint peeling. And the problem with the GTO is that the paint was peeling quite badly on the spoiler and on the bonnet. Annabelle did make a start of it yesterday. And I know that I'm probably going to get the trolls coming out the woodwork and telling me that I'm ruining a perfectly good car. I know that I'm not doing this correctly. This is not a DIY how to do your paint on your car and all this crap. This is just me trying to make it a little bit more presentable, better than cracks and a big gouge out the bumper kind of look. So if there was pictures to be taken from far away, maybe it might be a little bit better. And also make Annabelle feel a little bit better when she follows the likes of car, like the Skyline. I mean, she compares it to the Skyline being showroom condition, but I know that there's a lot of blemishes on my own car. Yeah, so join me while I bodge this car together. Before we carry on, there's something I need to announce. Not announce, but like I would like to share. I've mentioned him a couple of times in my videos. Nelkel JDM. He's a South African YouTuber, and he has a collection of JDM cars. He's got a R32 GTR, he's got two RX-7s and an MR2. The reason why I'm mentioning him is because on his channel there is something that's going to come up, and it's going to be quite interesting, to be fair. And moi is on it, yes. Maybe making a fool of myself, we'll see. So please head over to his side, keep a lookout for that, pop him a subscribe if you haven't heard about him before. He's got a crazy build. He's doing some a single turbo conversion on one of the RX-7s. Yeah, so go and give him a bit of love, please. Yes, and like I say, it's the first thing that I've done collaborating with somebody across the world. I am originally from South Africa myself. I was born there but grew up in Zimbabwe. A little bit of background for me. Let's crack on with this car because we're leaving tomorrow. We're meeting everybody at, I think it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I have the rest of today to finish rubbing down the bonnet, filler it, let it dry, and then attempted spray painting. I have a confession to make. I have no spray paint, but I have white primer. You can see where this is going. This is either going to be okay, or it's going to be a complete hash. This is what we've done so far. The paint was peeling in this corner. Yeah, so I've rubbed it down, put a little bit of filler to try and bridge up the gap and do it as best as I can. Same as this side, it was starting to peel there as well. I've rubbed that down as well. I started last night taping up the rear lights. We're gonna have to do it to the bonnet as well. This side's been rubbed as well, so I'm not entirely sure what to do with this because I'm finding it hard. I'm a beginner, so please be kind to me in the comments. The question here is the damage that I caused. The question here is the damage that I caused to the rear bumper. Now, if you're new, obviously, I've had a few subscribers from the JM Imports video. Thank you very much for joining me. This is said garage. Now, if you haven't seen that video, please go and have a look. It was the first time that this car was put back on its wheels, and I made a catastrophic mistake trying to do a shortcut, and it just never pays. Fell off the jack. It didn't fall off the jack, it fell off the bricks and pushed the jack along straight into the side of the garage. Yeah, and I've damaged the rear bumper. Now I'm going to try my best because the damage is in that corner. So obviously I'm pushed for space. So I am trying to fix it. It hasn't been rubbed down. I've filled it, let it dry, and I'm going to carry on rubbing that today. And then hopefully I can get it looking like one colour at least. Are you ready for this? Be kind, because I am a new body man, okay? First time I've ever done this. There was a massive crease in there. So this is dried overnight, and I'm going to come and hit it with some sandpaper and just rub it down. Yeah, so I've tried my best. We get it nice and smooth as I can get that. Current state of my rubbing down. Then we need to tackle that. I know that this is not a permanent thing. It's literally just for the show. That's just so that she feels a little bit happier. It's absolutely freezing waiting for paint to dry. I've just done my second coat. Just done my second coat on the rear bumper. Now, I am sure that pictures, video, it's going to be fine. It's going to look okay. I'm starting to worry. I'm starting to worry. Because I can't help notice that the primer that I'm using, because it is primer, is like really white, and the rest of it's not so really white, and I'm worried that the moment I come out this garage, it's just it's just gonna look like a patchwork. Oh my man! From here it doesn't look too bad, does it? You know, considering I had a big bloody crease down that corner. So it's several hours later. And we went and got Ford Diamond White, which apparently is what this car is sprayed in. We also have a visitor. I know, every time we seem to work on the car we get a visitor. So we've got Graham back. He's having a cup of coffee, cup of tea really. The sun's starting to go down, so it's a little bit cold in here. So I'm going to mix my paint up, and then I'm going to do my first coat on this side just to see what this comes out like, because when I went to pick it up, you can obviously see that that's not the same. I did ask. They've assured me that that is not the colour that this is going to be. It is going to be Ford Diamond White. Previous owner told me that this is Ford Diamond White. So we hope that we've got a match here. I have put, before I paint, I have put a little bit more filler on the back of the car, because there was a bit of an indentation about there. I wasn't quite happy with it, and I'm trying to do a best job as I can, bodge wise. Like I've said, this is not a tutorial, this is just you laughing at me for butchering a car. Should we paint? Okay, let's go for it. I feel like I've got a can of deodorant. Like, the nozzles are different. So, anyway, enough gabbing, let's go. I'm almost nervous. Rag at the ready in case I overspray. I nearly made a mistake there. I nearly made it so you saw it. I haven't test pushed, you know what I mean? Yep, that's the same colour. That's definitely the same colour. Okay, nozzle's clear. That was nearly a mistake. I hope that dries a lot whiter than that, because it looks very yellow, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think magnolia.
It does, doesn't it? Houston, we have a problem. Where's that bloody lid? Right. I really hope that dries whiter. That's definitely yellower, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's definitely, because the lower bit, let's see where you are. The lower one is what I've sprayed with this can. the upper one is the primer. And that's what it looks like on the car. I don't think this car is Ford Diamond White. Chris, previous owner, you lied. It's gonna be sprayed in primer. I'm just gonna spray it in primer, and I'm gonna bloody lacquer it. That's all I'm gonna do. Like, I'll let that dry. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let that dry. See what it's, because sometimes it changes when it dries. We just do that little bit. Because I have sprayed there as well. I know on camera you can't really see any difference. I mean, that's been sprayed as well. I guess you can see a difference there. There's picking up a difference. That's been sprayed, but the light is not a natural light, so there is a big spray mark across there. I'm gonna let that dry, see what that, because it looks magnolia, as Graham said. See how it comes out. In the meantime, we're gonna go and rub the bonnet, because the bonnet needs doing while that dries as well. Okay, so that's had some time to dry. I think it's a no good. Like, it's a no go. What I mean, a no good. My English these days. These last two vlogs. What the hell's going on with my English? I think that's a no go, because if I can see it in this light, in natural light, I think that's going to be worse. So I'm going to respray it in the primer, because the primer is looking better. It's not going to be perfect, but it's looking better. While that's been drying, I've allowed myself to spend some time on this part of the car. So we've got them all nice and smooth, and all the paint has been lifted. You know, so all I'm going to do now is I'm going to tape everything up, and then yeah, tape it up, and I'm just going to use primer. I have an idea that I'm going to obviously keep the tape around the edges as best as I can, so that I'm not actually going onto the surface of the bonnet, and then just literally concentrate in the dips. Theoretically shouldn't be as noticeable. Plan is there. Okay, the intention's there, and then obviously I'm going to concentrate on the back. I'm still allowing the filler at the back to dry. See how that's getting on. Okay, so we'll let that be for a bit, then I'm going to rub it down a little bit more, and then hopefully this car doesn't look too bad when it rolls into natural light, and I think, shit, I've got to go 300 miles following this car. I haven't bothered with the cameras. I've just been literally cracking on. So far, that's what that looks like. It's had 2 coats. That's had 2 coats so far. You can see the little wet. That's a little bit wet still. So once that's completely dry, I'm going to rub it down, reshape it. If you look closer, you can see a bit of a color difference from there to there. I mean, that's definitely dry. I've obviously got imperfections there. The rear bumper, I was trying to get rid of that. I'm bummed out about that, because that wasn't showing until I try to be clever and bloody be more professional. Like I say, when you look at this closely in the flesh, you can see imperfections in it. It's by no means smooth, but the main thing was just to get it not flaking. Obviously you can see that there's an imperfection there. I'm standing where the GTO normally stands. Do you want to see the car in the daylight? From a distance, doesn't look too bad. Sorry about the wind, I'm going to apologise now. You can see that I've repaired it, I'm going to be honest. The spoiler. Bonnet. Honestly, it doesn't look as bad as I was expecting in the daylight. I would say that that is a jobbed. Sorry if there's any cuck on the lens, I'm going to clean the lens because I can notice that there's a bit of crap on the lens. So in this wind, it looks like it's about to rain. We're about to roll out, so thanks for joining me with that. If you want to see where we're going, then please stay tuned till the next upload.